Well, it says I'm live. Okay. Hey, everybody. How are we doing today? Happy Monday. I just want to get on Facebook here and go live with them. I'm going to break down, and I hope this recording comes out clearer than last time. Um, Even though I had my guest on the last time. There, I'm taking the light off. I don't need the light. I had my guest on the other day, and he had his phone on speaker, so there was this horrible feedback. So I tried not to talk as much, and I tried to let him talk most of the time. But let me get on Facebook here. I should have had this ready. Um, I had to run down and check my mail. But anyway, happy Monday. I know that the news is kind of grim. I get that. Hi, Gail. How are you, hon? I know that the news is kind of grim right now. I actually don't think I'm going to do this on Facebook Live because it's telling me my internet is weak. I don't want to press my luck. So I'm here to discuss the stars of a couple of people. I've got Vladimir Putin's stars. I have Zelensky's stars. And I have someone else's stars. I'm not going to say the other person yet. First, I want to talk about Zelensky. Now, I posted something on my Patreon about Zelensky. And I'm not going to say too much here. These are his stars. And I'm going to try and just stay as still as possible so that you all can see that. Apparently, if I sit real still, it'll start to I agree, Gail. It is very sad and heartbreaking to watch the news. These are Zelensky's stars, okay? Now, after I posted on Patreon, um, he'll be in about March 3rd, 4th, 5th. He'll be operating on some one of his negative dragon days. Unlucky. But he has a hidden dragon. If you could see his chart, first house. He's born in the constellation of Capricorn, but his sun sign is Aquarius. He has a dragon's head in Libra in the 10th house, and the tail is in Aries in the 4th house. So when you have a dragon's tail in Libra sitting on the 10th house, he really is blessed with diplomacy, okay, and being a diplomat and looking for that harmony within his own country. Now he has a hidden dragon head sitting in the first house. You don't see it here, but I'm pointing to it. He has a hidden dragon sitting in his first house in Capricorn. Okay. If you ever wanted anybody to run for president, you're going to want someone with a natal dragon's tail or a hidden dragon's tail in Capricorn. The head, not the tail. He has a hidden dragon's head sitting on his first house. He makes a damn good president. Now, there are a few politicians out there who do have a dragon's tail in Capricorn, and they make horrible politicians. Sarah Palin is one of them. She has a natal dragon's tail sitting in Capricorn. Not meant to be in politics. Herman Cain, unfortunately, had a dragon's tail in Capricorn, and it literally killed him. He's dead. When you have a dragon's tail in Capricorn, you are not meant by the stars to be in politics, be married to a politician, get involved with a politician. Marilyn Monroe had a dragon's tail in Capricorn. And look how her life ended. She got involved with a politician or two. Zelensky, on the other hand, has pretty darn decent stars. And I'm not saying that because I'm taking sides, but anytime you invade a nation, a democratic nation, um, expect chaos, expect drama. I did say on one of my last podcasts, someone asked me in the chat, do you think Russia's going to attack Ukraine? And I said if they did, it would be between the 21st and the 24th. And here we go. He attacked on the 23rd. Right on time within a Platonic window. Now, there is something, I'm not going to spend too much time on Zelensky. I'm going to spend a little more time on Putin. Okay. I am going to try and put these charts in this chat if I can. I'm looking at Ukraine's chart as well. I didn't print that out, but I am looking on it on my software. I have two screens up. And Ukraine was erected on August 24th, 1991. I don't have the time, but this country was erected. He has gone mad. You're absolutely right, Gail. My mother last night that he killed himself. Now that's not I on anybody, not even Putin. Okay, but I don't think Putin. I think Putin thought that this was going to be easy, and once I started looking at when the Ukraine was erected, that country has a dragon's head in Capricorn. They're not going down without a fight. Okay. Capricorn dragon's head is strong. It is tough. It is resilient. It can handle it. It can handle the Saturnian energy that Putin's throwing at them. Throw in a president with a hidden dragon's head in Capricorn who's out there fighting, and you've got a powerhouse, and you've got a powerhouse of people, the people, nation itself. The only thing that concerns me, and I did bring this up to my Patreons, and I will bring it up here, is this is Zelensky's chart. And if you can see where my finger is pointing, if you could see where my finger is pointing, he has Mars and Leo in the 8th house. Now, that does concern me a little bit because the 8th house is the house of death, drama, rebirth, and transformation. Mars being in Leo means fire on fire. Mars is the planet of war. And there could be a strong possibility when he hits his unlucky dragon day that he is either hurt badly or the Russians kill him. Now, I'm hoping that does not happen, and I'm hoping negotiations go well today. But that is a possibility that I hope to God I'm wrong about. Okay? That's just a little bit of Zelensky stars. But I want to talk about something in ancient astrology, and that is that there are characteristics in one's chart that can create a dictator. Okay? There's a combination of things. Something I don't always talk about here is Black Moon Lilith, Zelensky stars, for example. He has Black Moon Lilith in his. That Black Moon shadow side. It's your shadow self. It's the darker side of you. Now, for a lot of us, it does not come out because it's the shadow side. It's the darker side of all of us. So it doesn't necessarily come out. But if it is in critical degrees, it will come out. Now, when you have that Black Moon Lilith sitting in the 3rd house of your mental clarity, the 12th house of the deep subconscious mind, or I'm going to give you 2 examples here. These are the stars of Vladimir Putin. Now I'm going to give you guys a minute. I'm going to let this focus in. I'm going to stay as still as possible. Go look where that black moon is. It's sitting there on the 11th house with Putin's tail on the 11th. So when we have a dragon's tail with a Black Moon Lilith, or a Black Moon Lilith in the 3rd or the 12th house, these are the makings of a dictator. Hitler had Black Moon Lilith in his 3rd house. Kim Jong-un has Black Moon Lilith in his 3rd house. Oh, and guess who else has that? This is the star of Donald Trump. Look where his Black Moon Lilith is. Right there in his 12th. Excuse me, his 7th. Right there in his 7th, along with the regular moon. So not only is he working on his emotions, he's also working on his shadow side, which is a dictator, a fascist. Just like his good buddy. Oh, God. Hold on, my thing is messing up here. Just like his good buddy, Vladimir Putin. Dragon tail, 11th house, Black Moon Lilith. Let's see, Putin. Putin has a dragon's head in Aquarius. And the tail is in Leo. This is a man with a very, very big ego. He may be Libra, but he is not a man or a Libra for balance and harmony. He is actually a man that wants to be a dictator. He wants to rule the entire world. Anytime you have a dragon's tail sitting in Leo, this is an individual whose past life was he was a king or a queen or a count or a prince in a past life. So he thinks he's royalty, even though he is just. Now you throw that Pluto sitting there right next to the 11th house, and Pluto, the planet of death, drama, rebirth. This is the makings of a dictator. Donald Trump. This is the makings of a dictator. One more thing I want to cover, though, before I get out of here is this. Where is it? All right. Also, I think all politicians are liars. I don't really care whether they're Democrat or Republican. Even the one we have in office, I'm sure, is lying to us in some way. Okay. However, Biden is a Scorpio. Okay. And yes, the dragon is writing negative on him too. You could see it in his approval ratings. I think this morning I saw that he was at like 37% disapprove, or 37% approved, 50-something, 60-something disapproved of his job as president. The interesting part about this is that Biden is a Scorpio. Let's take a look at Putin's chart for just a minute. This is one of the simplest ways I can break down ancient astrology for you. Putin is a Libra, October. 1st house, October, November. Where's that dragon tail cruising? The universal dragon tail is cruising Putin's 2nd house of wealth and money. This is affecting his country. It's not affecting him. But we're sure getting ready to stick it to the billionaires that live, the Russian billionaires that live in our country here. So his second house is being infiltrated by Biden, who is a Scorpio. And he's stinging the hell out of his economy and his money. Anonymous is another group that is scorpionic in nature and very plutonic. It's very secretive. And that is another organization that has created a cyber warfare. One of the indications of a negative Scorpius dragon tail is cyber crimes, cyber warfare. Here we are. Here it is. I mentioned this to my Patreons a couple of days ago. And in all my 16 years of doing this, I have never seen things manifest so quickly. We're what, a month in now to this new dragon, and 4 of my predictions are coming to manifest. Now I'm going to take the recording I have on my Patreon that is strictly for my Patreon. My daughter is going to start breaking them up into the predictions so that as they come out, obviously I have 4 I have to share with the general public. Patreon has them all. Patreon knows what's going on ahead of time. Hi, Doris. How are you? I'm doing very well. Thank you. Very well. I hope you're doing well as well. So yeah, Patreon has them all. Now, like I said, my daughter has to take that recording. We've downloaded it. I'm not very tech savvy on breaking them into like increments. So you can hear prediction 4, prediction 5, prediction 20. And there was one other I hit on. I can't remember which one, but it is really kind of disturbing. And all, like I said, in all my 16 years of practicing ancient astrology, I've never seen predictions manifest this fast and this quickly. We've got over 17 more months to go of this energy. And oh my God, it's kind of frightening in a way. I'm a little unnerved as the astrologer. I am a little unnerved by all of this. It is going to be a rough 18 and 17 months with this Platonic energy. Negative dragon's tail in Scorpio. It is going to be an awakening for a lot of people. Now, as for Putin, this is hitting his self-esteem very hard. This is a man who has a very, very big ego. Okay. And I think he underestimated the Ukrainians and the Ukrainian people. Once I saw Ukraine stars and where this country, how this country's stars were, I realized that if I would have been Putin's astrologer, I would have said to him, this is not the year to invade. But let me look at something for Ukraine. Hold on. Unfortunately, too, for the Ukraine, they're getting ready to, they have a hidden dragon tail sitting in Pisces. This new moon's coming in Pisces. It's going to be, the negative energy for a few days is going to be directly over Ukraine. Next couple of days is not looking good for Ukraine. Or Zelensky. I hope I'm wrong. But it's also not looking good for Putin either. The public eye, he's looking horrible in the public eye. And I think that him having he's had his internet taken out. He's had his news media platforms taken out. Now, my understanding is I do follow Anonymous on YouTube here, and took out his communications and broadcasting abilities and then started filtering in Ukrainian news. So all that the Russian people could hear the news being. It's a very sorry state of affairs. I kind of am at a loss for words. You know, once I pulled Putin's stars and looked a little bit closer at things, we're not dealing with someone who is, you know, we're not dealing with an individual who's operating on a full deck of cards here. We're dealing with someone who's lost it a little bit. And, you know, now we're at DEFCON 3. Does anybody know what that is? DEFCON 3? Well, I'm a Gen Xer, so my millennials, my Gen Zers may not be used to this, but us Gen Xers have always been, through the years, there's always been this fear of Russia bombing us and a Cold War and this and that. That's always been kind of put into our heads growing up in the 80s and 90s. I know, Gail, we're all on the edge. I agree. Now, I am an admin for a music site on Facebook. I'm not going to say what it is or who it is. It's because it's in my music world. But there's 4 of us, and two of the main admins that run this are my friends that are Russian. And their Facebook page has a big thing that says F Putin and a big Ukrainian flag on it and whatnot. Now, I haven't been able to get in touch with them in quite some time. I think they're lost internet service, but I was trying to explain to one of them 5-6 days ago when this was all going down. I said, if you guys lose internet, you're going to have to get on a platform that's a VPN, and I don't know what exactly that stands for, but a VPN is where you can get on the internet and you're not monitored. You're not being traced or tracked. Brave search engine is an automatic VPN. I work off of Brave, so I'm not traced or tracked. That's what some of the Russian people are going to have to do in order to get on the internet and get online. But the people in Russia are being suppressed. The people in Russia are not being told the truth. Not that our media is telling the truth either, okay? But I mean, I do think there are issues and layers here that have to do with Biden and the whole Hunter Biden thing. I'm sure there's issues with that too. There's layers of this. There's secrets that have not come to light yet. But the Russian people are suffering too. And even some of those Russian soldiers that signed up, they didn't realize they were signing up to kill their neighbors. Putin has lied to his own people. That sounds familiar. I'm like, when a politician lies to his own people, who does that sound like? Sounds like him. Donald Trump did say he was impressed with him. You know, it's funny, if my grandparents were alive today, my grandfather would be rolling over in his grave to know that the America he came here from, on a boat, is becoming a fascist state. The United States is getting ready to become a fascist nation. And I don't have the United States' chart up, but the United States is a Cancer nation with a dragon's head in Leo and the tail in Aquarius in its 8th house. So yes, the United States is the kings. They're always going to have a rulership of some sort. But this Pluto return is really going to be the true test of time for this country, the United States. This is where Rome fell. Uh-oh, you lost me. Am I back up? I hope I'm still on. What I'm going to say is this. The United States has a dragon's tail in Aquarius. So why do you think our country has been so secretive with UFOs? What dragon or what my connection? Hold on. I'm starting to really dislike Starlink internet. It just doesn't seem like the satellite is working very well. And I don't know why. Anyway, the last thing I was going to say, and it was an important one, is that the United States has a dragon's tail in Aquarius. This is why we've been so secretive throughout the century, decades with UFOs. However, with the dragon's tail sitting there in the eighth house of death for the United States, I could easily say that we could be nuked. That is a possibility. And I don't think it could be from Putin. Nostradamus himself talked about a third Antichrist, whether you believe in that or not. Hitler, yes. He said the first one was Napoleon. Nostradamus himself said the third Antichrist would come out of Asia. There is a few that come to mind, isn't it? But then again, Russia, if you look at the geography of Russia, it is part of Asia. So, but I kind of think it's Kim Jong-un, to be honest with you. He's working on getting the capabilities to be able to nuke the West Coast. Probably one of the subconscious reasons why I moved off the West Coast. Because I know the United States is stars, and that is a high probability for our country. I'm not trying to scare you, but that's our stars. I'll print out the United States is stars and show you that one day. But I wanted to just get on here, talk about Putin a little bit, talk about Zelensky, continue saying some prayers out there because it's going to get crazier and crazier. I'm sorry about the bad connection. For all of my YouTubers, I will be posting the New Moon 4 pre-record of it so that it records correctly, and internet is unstable. Well, it's nice to see you. Doris, thanks for tuning in, and all of you out there, have a good one.